only gave you an inch, would you sell it back by the mile with facial recognition on every fucking style? If I gave you a tenner, would you let me touch the earth, forage for freedom? I will not be a tourist nor a customer. I will not say I don't belong. And if we need a permit just to sleep beneath the stars, we're forgetting what was ours and what they've done.
I have heard of Dartmoor in passing, but I didn't really know what it was or where it was.
I haven't been in Dartmoor before, and I heard that it's a really, really beautiful space.
I kind of anticipate all the goodness I think I'll come out of this with.
Feels like a doorway, a coming home to what matters. I'm feeling sort of on the verge of like change in my life, and Dartmoor, it's just a completely different landscape to the city.
It was proposed to me as a social action project. Immediately I knew this was something that I had to be a part of.
The point of this programme is to think about more projects that you could do, more like conversations to like inspire people to get into nature.
Last year, I applied for the New Perspective Storytelling Grant from the Campaign for National Parks. It's a charity that is working to protect national parks in England and Wales. The pitch that I presented to Campaign for National Park was, what would it be like to leave the city in community, go to an area of outstanding beauty and have the literal space, physically and metaphorically, to breathe life into some of these feelings and thoughts that we may not normally get a chance to speak about. Concepts around climate justice and social justice and desires and dreams for a better world.
What made me want to come onto this trip, I was quite curious about being outside more in nature, and also specifically Dartmoor, as I've never been there before.
I am feeling really excited to connect with nature and learn things like how to purify your water and how to read a map.
I kind of anticipate how much reconnecting it will allow me to give myself or to, to offer to people around me.
I want to come out of the week a bit more like peaceful and a bit more like maybe let go of like some like
I think as a young person it's really important for me to get access to these green spaces. I have seen tremendous effects on my mental health, and I just think it contributes to the overall well-being of young people and the way they interact with society and the world.
Time out in nature is a bit of like a reset for me, I think it's always almost like a spiritual experience. I can pause really from everything, and it's a bit of like a grounding almost.
Everyone needs to come back to nature at some point. It is like our dwelling place and it makes us feel at home again.
Do I belong in national parks? I would say no. Growing up, a big influence in my life has been media. And I didn't really see a lot of representation in terms of people of colour in national parks, or for that matter in green spaces. I can't conjure up an image of black and brown people walking through a national park. It's always white people in wellies. And you think those spaces are out of my reach.
Nature in England has a really long history of being exclusionary and keeping people out. There are so many people that are told that their nature is not a place for them. How can we get people that are most underserved and most marginalised by our system, how can we get them to be the storytellers in these places and enjoy the healing benefits of the outdoors?
I find that like when I'm out in nature is when I feel like zero discrimination, zero sense of judgment, zero sense of, I don't have to think like, I'm this, so I'm that. No, I'm just wherever I am at that moment, like I'm connected to the land around me, to the life around me as well. In Dartmoor, I anticipate it'll be the same thing.
Something like this, being here and going on this weekend, is doing some subliminal messaging in my brain that yes, it's changing, but I think we have a long way to go.
I feel like at the moment, working in forest school, a lot of the people I'm working with, if they are accessing it, it's maybe for like one day in a month. It's just not enough for everyone to access that. I feel like it would change our society if everyone was outdoors more.
The campaign for national parks is just raising awareness of what's already there There are so many resources at our fingertips, and there is that thing where it's like you travel the whole world and you realise it was in your own backyard.
The first thing we did was come together and do a meet-up with everybody that's coming on the trip. We spent some time reflecting on our own personal hopes and ideas for the trip. Next up is the moment where we leave Bristol.
We are all here ready to head out into Dartmoor that's all full of mystery.
Wonderful to see so many amazing, happy, lovely faces, including this amazing person here. This is David. Everybody say, hey, David. Should we load up?
Load up, get in, get going.
David, our minibus driver, an amazing, very generous guy who's offered his time to drive for free. He's going to meet us at 5 o'clock at Bristol Eastern Community Centre.
We've got a wonderful driver here, David, who's going to swing us all the way to Dartmoor. For now, just enjoy, get to know people, and yeah, buckle up.
We got on the bus and we had a coach journey with lots of talking and then listening to music.
From the time I left Bristol, it feels like I'm going into a really resting place.
We're here, we made it. We thought it would be really lovely to go on a really gentle night walk, come back and go to bed. Does that all sound quite good?
I like the night walk a lot. I think that really zoomed me into okay, I'm here, I'm in this space and I'm doing this. Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm ready to take anything, any new challenge, any new step, any new fear, either.
Now we're gonna go on a walk all around Dartmoor. Just lots of green and hills.
We have Dartmoor ponies. I did a recce the other day and there were quite a few on Belvoir. My role has been to get the group round on a beautiful route round Dartmoor and to get them familiar with Dartmoor, the history, the myths, the legends, the flora, fauna, and just have a bit of fun with them as well. Okay, so you can hear the cuckoo. So the cuckoo is endangered, but Dartmoor's the only place in the southwest that they come. There you go. That's it. We started off in typical Dartmoor misty, rainy weather, which is great because that is how Dartmoor should be seen. And we headed up on the Litch Way onto Dartmoor.
It's been fun, it's been exciting. We're just out having an adventure. We immersed ourselves in this little forest, which was really beautiful.
I think it's important to remember that we're not separate from nature either.
Change the pitch.
I've had a really lovely day so far. It's been a really great opportunity for the group to get to know each other. It's a new group that's formed. There's been some really nice conversations that have started. We've talked about land rights and access to land. We've heard about the Right to Roam movement and the Stars Are For Everybody campaign.
The Stars Are For Everyone campaign has been going for about 2.5, 3 years now in response to Alexander Darwell challenging the right to our camp on Dartmoor, and where you just walk into the wilderness. You have a tent with you can just set it up, and to take that away is going to be very detrimental, I think, to many people.
We should have the ability to roam it because it's just so beautiful. Everyone should have access to it. It shouldn't be restricted.
Why are we having separation, and why is one person deciding it for the whole of the country?
I'm really passionate about fighting that landowner to keep the right to our camp on Dartmoor.
I quite enjoyed learning about the history of the moors, the stories and myths surrounding it, learning more about the Bronze Age, as that is something I've never known about before.
Just doing stuff as a group kind of makes you connect, working stuff out together, like map reading.
And the map reading was really intriguing. It's like an ancient way and a traditional way of navigating. That's a good skill to learn. After map reading, went down to stepping stones to pass over River Dart and learn how to clean water.
Learning about the water cleaning was really cool. Stuff I didn't know about, that you can get bottles and tablets to clean your water and just take that anywhere on hikes so that you don't have to carry gallons of water. I was still a bit wary of of drinking water that you don't buy. It's one step towards being self-sufficient. We kind of just finished eating dinner and Gabrielle was just playing on his guitar and Misha was joining in and it sounded beautiful and it was lovely, and then suddenly the whole dining room was singing. I've talked to so many people and it was genuinely everyone's favourite bit.
It's been an interesting day. I really enjoy being out on the moors. There's a kind of
a silence that makes all of the sounds very clear. If you listen carefully, you can still hear the dart.
Look around, it's beautiful. I'm seeing like pockets of like little villages, and it's so refreshing to see that they're the minority in the landscape.
This trip was so nice, like being in national park, like as escaping and being in the fresh air. I think England needs more like national parks.
Everyone's here for their own reason, and that reason is quite similar for most people, which is real appreciation for social action and what it can do for our communities back in Bristol. And it's just a bit of a privilege to like assemble those kinds of people in one space to enjoy this beautiful place and learn together about what it is to be and to protect land like this.
I thought they were amazing. It's been an absolute pleasure being with them, really. I've just learned so much about, their culture and the way of thinking, and they've just been so enthusiastic and really engaged. And what a fabulous project put by Campaign for National Parks, and I think I'd really love to be involved with these again, because I just think it's so important. It's not just a walk, it's much more than that. And I think it will just have these tendrils that go out into so many different ways we don't know.
Welcome to Embercombe, everybody. Today we kind of went back in time to the hunter-gatherer era. Took our shoes off to come down here to get the feeling of how it might have been to walk barefooted on the land. And together, this group made fire in the old way with the hand drill, and they did really, really well. They really brought forth the fire. You're going to come in with your hands. You're going to put a hand either side, and you're going to do this motion here. And at that point, you should start to feel some kind of lost memory, yeah?
So we were learning how to make fire, and he taught us this song, and we were kind of chanting, and it became quite trance-like, feeling the energy of the fire and the energy of the group with this song.
Grandfather fire, warm our hearts again, and we spin, 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 falling in the flame.
This group's got so much energy, and they're so on board with what we're doing today. We've made fire the old way. They're now cooking up themselves a feast on the fire.
I hadn't done the fire making before, and I thought it was really, really interesting. And it kind of just made me appreciate it more. Like, it's so taken for granted that actually like this is a key part of human life and human existence.
It was very therapeutic to know that my hands can actually nourish people and build connections and friendships and moments of joy. It made me feel very confident and gave me a lot of agency.
So the trip's ended, it's been about a week. It feels different. It feels like we've had a shift sort of collectively.
I really love the journey back. Everybody knows they're going home, and everybody suddenly seems to realise we're going home now, and I don't want it to end. And all of those things that I thought were hard, well, it was worth it.
I felt so much better when I came back to Bristol. I think in terms of mental health, I felt a lot calmer. I feel like I've got more of a purpose here now.
I realised from the whole experience being on this trip, it's quite important just to have moments of silence.
I would be irritable with silence, and now I actively seek out silence ever since the trip has ended. I think in the past 3 days, every time I felt overwhelmed, I have closed my eyes and imagined myself on top of Belvedere having lunch, just looking out at the view, taking in the world.
Green spaces are so beneficial for mental health. It's kind of like a deep wiring that we're not even aware of most of the time, which really just calms your whole nervous system.
I think everyone needs to find their way in nature, and if you haven't done that already, or being a part of a group like this is really helpful.
I really valued this experience as I met some amazing people. I felt like we were quite a good mix of people from all walks of life.
National parks are so important because they are a space where you can be in nature, and especially Dartmoor is really important because you can still wild camp there, and it's like the only place in the UK where you can still do that.
You need places you can go and be free to roam. And if those places start to disappear, so do the lessons of the land.
National parks are very essential, like to the bloodline of the UK. I moved here, from Nigeria, where there's lots of greenery, but it's not really accessible to most of the public. For someone who hasn't had that coming here, you know, I never knew how important it was to me. It's almost England's gift to me, you know.
I feel like I belong in Dartmoor and all other national parks, and I hope by extension of me feeling this way, every other young person of colour feels the same. These national parks and green spaces are instrumental for young people.
I'm really, really grateful for the opportunity that I had to go to Dartmoor. I think this project needs to carry on.
One of the hopes for this trip was to reach out and offer this experience to people that have never done it before. I'm excited by the fact that this was a pilot experience and that with funding from the I Will movement, we've been able to offer 12 young adults in Bristol a 6-month programme to learn about social action. And the hope is that we can do this again and roll this out to more people who are passionate about the health and justice in their community and also love being outdoors.
I want to say thank you because I would say it's a life-changing experience and I want to do it again.
Into the Dartmoor you'll find it. Looking in your heart you will find it. Can you find your way up the tour? What is nature for? It's for freedom. Why do we need freedom? There's no reason we can't belong to our world. Ooh, I will find a tune. I wanna open my heart and go to Dartmoor. Dartmoor, I'm gonna find how to let my heart beat. Into the wild I will feel good. Into the heart let you feel good. Then I let it find my way.